The goal of this video is some basic familiarity with a Moodle course in Moodle 2.6. When you first get a sandpit on nanosecond, this is what you will see. On the left hand side we can see topics 1 through 4, and this is where we're going to put our various resources and activities. Across the top here you can see the breadcrumbs which tell you where you are. In this case sandpits, School of Professional Studies, my name Mick, and this particular sandpit I've called Mick's Sandpit. On the right hand side we can see a couple of blocks, and we'll explore what blocks are in a later video. In order to begin playing with our sandpit, we need to turn editing on so that we can edit the sandpit. And there are two ways of doing that. You can do it in the administration block. You can see there's the text here, turn editing on. But we've also got this big green button, and when you put the mouse over that you can see it tells us that that is to turn editing on. So if you click the green button it goes red, which is now giving you the option to turn editing off, and you can see there's a whole suite of different icons now on my course, which means I can make some changes. You can see that there's a topic 0 up here that doesn't have a topic heading, and then topics 1 through 4 again. Now what if I want to add a topic? I go down to the very bottom and you can see underneath my last topic, topic 4 in this case, the plus means I can increase the number of sections, and so if I click the plus sign and I need to scroll up, you'll see I've now got a topic 5, and if I click the minus sign that removes that topic. So now I've only got 4 topics. So I can add and remove topics. Within each of my topics, on the right hand side there's an add an activity or resource, and so if I click that link I'm now presented with the option of adding an activity. So these are the various activities in Moodle that make it so interactive and exciting, and if I scroll down I can add resources. Resources are more static, so there's things like book, I can have a link to a file, I can have a folder that I can put files in, add a label, a page, or a link to an internal and external resource, a URL. We'll look at those in subsequent videos. So I can add these activities or resources. For each of my topics I can also let my participants know that this is the current topic, so I click the light globe and that highlights that topic as being the current topic of interest. Let's unclick that. Or if I'm working on a topic on a live course, if I click the I can hide that topic. You now see there's a line through the eye icon and that entire topic is grayed out. So we'll just unhide that now. So we can add topics, we can hide topics, we can highlight topics as the current topic, and we can add activities or resources to our topics. If we move across here you'll see this symbol underneath the topic name allows us to edit the summary. So if we click on that, you can see now I'm presented with a few things, some of which we'll talk about in this video and some in future videos. So you can see there's the option to rename the topic. You can see on the right of that there's a checkbox where I'm using the default section name, which in this case is topic 1. If I unclick that, I can now edit that text. So we'll write my first topic. And I can also add some material in here which is the summary of the topic, and this will display on my Moodle course. Now why might you want to do that? Well, for example, if I'm developing a course I might in here put the sorts of things that I'm going to add later. So I'm going to say I want a folder here, I want a learning outcomes document. You'll notice too that there's a whole bunch of things across the top. This is the WYSIWYG HTML editor, which we will explore in a later video. I can also restrict the access, and we'll look at those sorts of things in a subsequent video. Let's just save the changes. You'll see now that my topic has a new name, my first topic, and the summary appears. Finally, I can rearrange my topics. So if I move to this arrow, and you can see now my cursor becomes the arrow, if I left mouse click, that highlights that, and I can drag it down. Try that again. And it rearranges my topics. So now note that topic 2 has become topic 1, and my first topic has become my second topic. So that's a basic orientation of some simple things you can do on your Moodle course.